Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm Urvashi and today in this video I'm going to be talking about Jupiter's retrograde transit in the sign of Aquarius on the 20th of June. So Jupiter is currently transiting in Shatabisha, and on the 20th of June Jupiter will turn retrograde and start its retrograde motion. This happens every year. It's not a new phenomena. It's a regular phenomena. And I've mentioned this in my previous videos. Planets really don't go retrograde. They appear to be in retrograde motion from the earth. And that is how our rishis saw them, and the results they observed and the interpretations they have given is what I'm going to be sharing with you today. So Jupiter turns retrograde on the 20th of June. It is in Shatabisha in Aquarius, and on the 20th of July, while going backwards, it enters the Nakshatra of Dhanishta. Continues going backwards. On the 14th of September, it re-enters Capricorn, its sign of debilitation, but this time it's a more powerful Jupiter since it is retrograde, supported also by Saturn. Till the 18th of October, Jupiter continues its retrograde motion. On the 18th, it goes direct, and on the 21st of November, Jupiter re-enters Aquarius. So that is what Jupiter's transit is like the next few months. Interesting, what I noted was very interesting, that in September, when Jupiter re-enters Capricorn, simultaneously Mercury will be in Virgo. Mars and Sun will also enter Virgo. So in Virgo we are going to have an exalted Mercury, and then Mercury just touches Libra and comes back in retrograde motion in Virgo. So we're going to have Mercury in retrograde motion in Virgo, exalted, and Mars and Sun there. Mars will be combust. Mercury too will be combust for a while. And here we have Saturn and Jupiter in Capricorn, retrograde, and in Taurus you have Rahu, which is always retrograde. So the Artha trine in September and October, this is an entire triangle that is formed because Jupiter from Capricorn is going to aspect Taurus and Virgo. Rahu from Taurus is going to aspect Capricorn and Virgo. So the entire Artha trine is very, very beautifully activated. And when we have Jupiter Rahu activating any one element like this, certain events can be triggered depending on the promise of your chart. So September, October going to be important months. When the entire Artha trine is activated, I will then be making a separate video on this when the time comes. In this video I'm going to be talking generally about the transit of Jupiter and what this means for us. So Jupiter, we all know, is the blessing in our life, is the good luck, is the happiness factor, is the wisdom and knowledge, tradition, culture, philosophy, our thought, our vision, the 9th house. That's what the 9th house signifies. Our teachers, our gurus. It signifies the 11th house, our long-term ambitions, dreams, desires. The 2nd house, wealth and resources that we have, our family. The 5th house of children, happiness, creativity, power, status. Jupiter is the significator of all these houses. Retrograde means now the energy will be more internalized. I have made an entire playlist on retrograde planets that I'm going to be sharing in the description below. You can watch that video specifically for Jupiter if you want to, what Jupiter does if it is retrograde in a chart. But in transit too, it impacts us to an extent. Sometimes when we are trying to achieve something but we are not able to do, then this energy of Jupiter really can be very helpful and supportive in internalizing. I have given this example earlier just to help you understand. I'm going to do this again for those people who haven't watched those earlier videos of mine. on a Saturday evening, late evening, let's suppose you're standing outside a bakery and you're looking at this very, very delicious pastry, some chocolate pastry that you want to have, but the store is closed, the cafe is closed, Sunday is a holiday and the store is going to remain closed. So what do you do? Do you wait for Monday? This Jupiter retrograde says, go back home, look up that pastry on the net, look up that pastry on YouTube or Google or where else, whatever you can find, wherever you can find it, and make that pastry for yourself. That pastry may not be readily available for you during, these days. Currently that pastry may not be available to you for some reason. Something is not working out for you. I know something is not working out for me. What is it that is not working out for you? In the next few months, it is time to create that pastry for ourselves. Sometimes we, get lucky, things happen for us easily. We do something and we get good results. Sometimes we don't get good results in spite of our best actions. And then retrograde happens. And Jupiter retrograde is wisdom. Wisdom we are internalizing. Now we cannot depend on luck factor too much. Now we cannot depend on things happening the way we have been doing, expecting things to happen just like that. They may not happen. Now is a time to think unconventionally, to come up with a different plan. That is what people are like who have Jupiter retrograde in their natal charts. They think out of the box. They are unconventional. They like to question everything. And they are able to do those things which other people have given up. And they may not feel very lucky. Things that are easy for most other people, they may find those things difficult. That is what is going to be. That is the way things may be now for us as well. Things we usually find very easily and we get easy results. We may not find them very easy right now. But unconventional, out of the box thinking, crooked thinking, making things work somehow, trying something different, a leap of faith, the unusual, that is what is going to give us results. So all we need to do is first think about what is not working for us. Where is that area of our life where we've been putting in our effort? And it could be these houses with that Jupiter rules, the second house, which Jupiter is the natural significator of, the 2nd, the 5th, the 9th and the 11th. Or it could be where Jupiter is currently transiting the sign of Aquarius, wherever that is in your chart. It could be the sign of Capricorn, where Jupiter is going to retrograde back to. So these are the areas where something is not working for us. So a plan B has to be made now. We have to try something unconventional, something different. And usually it is seen by the time Jupiter goes direct, we have found that formula, we have found that ways, those means to make that pastry. We have collected the tools, we've got the recipe, and as soon as Jupiter goes direct, then we're not waiting for that store to open on Monday morning. So as soon as Monday morning comes or as soon as Jupiter goes direct, then you implement. So that is the meaning of it, retrograde Jupiter. You can, try making that pastry while Jupiter is retrograde. But when planets are retrograde, results sometimes can be bigger, but with a bigger effort. If the result is bigger, the effort will also be much bigger. So best go over whatever you're doing. But if you're ready to make, that 3 times the effort, then you will get 3 times the result. So if you're able to, try again and again and again, but with a different plan, something different, something unconventional. Do not continue trying what you're already doing, because that is where you have to find an alternate plan. Something, whatever is not working out for you, if you continue doing that while the planet is retrograde, you probably will not get results. So you got to start thinking out of the box. You got to start asking, what other ways and means can I use to reach where I want to be. And Jupiter is also moving back from Shatabisha to Dhanishta. Shatabisha is the star of healing, the star of finding that which is lost. It has those powers. It has the power to eliminate disease, all our problems, all our sins. So we are now going to be internalizing wisdom, which is going to help us look for that which is lost or that which we do not have. Heal that, heal the disease, heal the problem in our lives, whatever it is, with the help of this wisdom that we are going to internalize. But this planet is going to transit back into Dhanishta. Dhanishta is the star of fame. Dhanishta is never-ending wealth, never-ending fame. Famous as in everybody's heard of you. But in Dhanishta, in order to get that kind of success requires a lot of determination. So maybe we're going back into Dhanishta to gather up that determination. Jupiter is retrograding back, internalizing. We are internalizing this energy. We're going to come up with a different plan. We're going to make some changes. We're going to understand where we are slow, what we're doing wrong. We will not be depending on luck. We will be depending on something unconventional, something unusual. We're going to be trying that in order to achieve that fame, the status, that wealth that is in Dhanishta, because that is where Jupiter is retrograding back, or in order to improve relationships, because Dhanishta also signifies something hollow. Dhanishta, the symbol of Dhanishta, one of the symbols of Dhanishta is a drum, and a drum is usually hollow inside, and it is seen important planets in Dhanishta usually tend to give delays in relationship, problems, attitudinal problems in relationships, and too much of self-obsession. So we could be going back from Shatabisha to Dhanishta to heal certain relationship, to find that which is lost, to fill that gap, to fill in that emptiness. There could be an emptiness in ourselves because the nakshatras act on the mental plane. So there are certain gaps, certain emptiness could be there in our life that we may be wanting to fill now, and heal and look for that which is not there in our lives. That is the transit from Shatabisha to Dhanishta. So either you are chasing success, or you are there is a missing link in some relationships. So these are the major themes in Dhanishta, and Jupiter is transiting back to Dhanishta. Either you're trying to heal something, or you're trying to find that thing which is elusive for you, or which you have misplaced somewhere. It could be happiness, it could be success, which you feel is elusive for you. So that is what these two nakshatras about. That is the theme of these two nakshatras. But also keep in mind the houses Jupiter rules and the houses Jupiter is transiting. I am going to touch these houses a little bit, but also please keep in mind the natural significations of Jupiter. I'm not going to be able to talk about everything in this video. I'm going to try and touch the houses Jupiter rules in your chart and where it is transiting. So Aries, it is transiting in the 11th house. It will come back to the 10th house. Rules the 9th house and the 12th house. So 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. These are the houses. So this could be about opportunity, philosophy, your ideology, your values, your knowledge, your learning, your career, your relationship with your father, with your boss, your ambitions. They could be elusive. Relationships, marriage. So any of this could be about achievement there, or this could be about some piece there that is missing. Taurus, Jupiter rules the 8th house. It is transiting in the 10th house, will come back into the 9th house, also rules the 11th house. So 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. Again, this is career, status, position, ambitions, your father. It is going to transit back into the 9th house. So this could be a relationship with your father, with a teacher. There could be a vacuum there. There could be an emptiness there. Maybe you need to fill it up. Maybe you need to become a little less self-obsessed, become a little less obstinate. This nakshatra of Dhanishta can be a little obstinate. Be determined to improve on relationships, but don't get hung up. Taurus, the sign of Taurus is a very, very fixed sign. So sometimes we can get a little hung up about things. So maybe it's time to find that which is missing in your life. This could be about the 8th house. This could be wealth, the 11th house. Again, your ambitions, wealth, your peace of mind, your relationship with your father. Then Gemini. So for Gemini, Jupiter rules the 7th house, the 10th house, and Jupiter is transiting from the 9th house to the 8th house. So these are the 4 houses that are majorly impacted for you. So here Jupiter rules the 7th house. Again, relationships, your spouse, it's transiting back towards the 8th house from the 11th house. This could be a relationship with your father. This could be some status or position, because the 7th house and the 10th house are both status and position, or a relationship with your boss or with your spouse. This could be your own inner peace, your financial situation. And then this could be healing, some kind of healing inside the subconscious. You already have Saturn retrograde in the 8th house. You're going to have 2 major planets. Lots of thinking will be there. Lots of introspection will be happening for Gemini ascendant people. Then Cancer. For Cancer, Jupiter rules the 6th house, the 9th house. It is transiting from the 8th house to the 7th house. The 6th house could be your obstacles, daily routine, your competitors, your enemies. The 9th house is your father, your traditions, values, education, knowledge, long distance travel, your philosophy. It's transiting from the 8th house, occult, and your financial, because this is the 8th house, is this 2-8 axis is the financial axis. So this could be your finances. This could be a loan, taking some credit from somewhere. You need to come up with certain finances and some debt. And then this could be relationships. This could be status. The 7th house is status. This simply could be relationships, with also Saturn transiting the 7th house in retrograde motion. Relationships is going to be a big theme for Cancer people. Relationships and status. Leo, Jupiter rules your 5th house, your 8th house. Is transiting from your 7th house to your 6th house. So this could be your children, creativity, power positions, asserting yourself. And 7th house is relationships, marriage. And coming back to the 6th house, your daily routine, your efforts, your competitors, health. You may need to improve on your health routine. You may need to come up with a better health routine. You may need to be more alert about your health. Saturn is also transiting the 6th house. So 6th house becomes very prominent for you for now. Then Virgo. For Virgo, Jupiter rules your 4th house, your 7th house. It's transiting from the 6th house to the 5th house. So 4th house, your home, your peace, your happiness, real estate, your spouse, your status, position, your children, creativity, creative projects, daily routine, competitors, competition, obstacles, hurdles. Somewhere you are getting stuck. Somewhere you need to find some new idea, some new plan, because it's retrograding back towards the 5th house where Saturn is posited, which becomes extremely important. Libra. Jupiter rules the 3rd house, the 6th house. Transiting from the 5th house, it comes back to the 4th house. Your efforts, your endeavors, your initiatives, your communication, your siblings, your home, your peace, your roots, your happiness, your mother, your children, your creativity, your sense of self-worth, your service, your job, your routine, your competitors, your enemies, your health. But real estate, property, important themes for you right now, with Saturn also in the 4th house. Some change, some ideas you'll be coming up with regarding all of this. Somewhere that you're stuck, you got to think of where you're stuck. Which of these areas of your life are you stuck in? And you will come up with the right plan. Then Scorpio rules the 2nd house, the 5th house, transits from the 4th house, comes back to the 3rd house. Your resources, your wealth, your bank balance, your family, your values, your siblings, neighbors, friends, communication, learning, teaching, home, roots, property, real estate, and children, creativity. All these things could be, major areas of your life where you may be looking for a solution. The 3rd house is extremely prominent with Saturn posited there. So your initiatives, your communication, your efforts, you're making your effort somewhere and you're not getting the required result, that kind of a situation can also be there. Then Sagittarius. Jupiter rules the 1st and the 4th house, transits from the 3rd house to the 2nd house. Your image, your self-worth, your confidence, your physical health, your home, happiness, peace, heart, happiness, mother, real estate, siblings, neighbors, friends, communication, learning, teaching, resources, your bank balance, the food habits, your value system, finances. Finances are an important theme right now for you because Saturn is also there in the 2nd house. So somewhere you are stuck, somewhere you're trying to find a solution. That is what you will be working on in the next 4 months. Then Capricorn. For Capricorn, Jupiter rules the 12th house, the 3rd house, transiting back from the 2nd to the 1st house. So this could be your resources, your family, your wealth, your food, your confidence, your health, travel, spirituality, your belief, your faith, your siblings, neighbors, initiatives, efforts, relocation, moving away, travel, meditation, introspection, healing. So somewhere this could be connected to healing because Jupiter is transiting back to the Lagna. So this could be your physical health, this could be your sense of confidence, which is going to be an important theme for you right now. Your image. So these are important themes. Then Aquarius. Aquarius, Jupiter rules your 11th house and your 2nd house, transiting back from the Lagna to the 12th house. So Aquarius, this is about your ambitions, networking, network circles, your gains, dreams, desires, your wealth, your family, your food habits, your resources, your health, confidence, name, fame, status, position, expenditure, wealth and expenditure. Expenditure is an important theme. Letting go is an important theme. Sometimes we are so self-obsessed. Saturn is in the 12th house. Saturn in this transit is teaching Aquarius to let go of the self. Ultimately, we all have to let go of ourselves. So this could be you maybe holding on too tightly to something. Too much of a control freak. You want things in a certain way and you just want them and there is no way out. Maybe it's just time to let go, and maybe that is what you will learn in this transit. Maybe you just need to change that life path of yours, whatever aims, desires, dreams you have, and let go of whatever you previously held. Pisces, 10th and 1st house transiting from the 12th to the 11th. So status, position, name, fame, health, image, spirituality, gains, losses, expenditure, network circles, friends, working in groups, which is an important theme because Saturn is in the 11th house. So maybe it's time for Pisces to understand why they are not achieving those ambitions that they have been, working for. What is the gap? Where is the plan wrong? Maybe the plan, maybe the ambition is not correct. Sometimes we tend to make unwise ambitions, things that we are not working enough for. Unpractical ambitions, things that we don't really work for. We just have an ambition and we're not putting in enough effort, and so we never achieve those ambitions. So maybe it's time to reassess your ambitions. It's time to reassess your aims, your status that you're aiming for, the name, fame and position you're aiming for, your long-term desires, or it simply could be relationships, because the self is involved, and the 11th house, which is long-term ambitions, which is also relationships. Relationships also are our long-term ambitions and plans, amongst the long-term ambitions and plans. So it could be any of this. So now Jupiter is retrograde. What do we do? What are the important remedies? The best remedy for Jupiter is be generous. Jupiter is the significator of generosity and kindness. So if you see somebody, if you feel somebody needs your help, reach out, help them. That's the best way to improve your Jupiter. Reach out, help somebody that needs your help. Share your knowledge. Respect your teachers. Respect your gurus. Eat foods related to Jupiter. Donate food related to Jupiter. Thursday is the day for Jupiter. Yellow is the color for Jupiter. And so yellow foods, yellow clothes, knowledge is the signification of Jupiter. Spread some knowledge. Be generous. Generosity is the signification of Jupiter. So be generous, be kind, make somebody happy, spread some happiness, and you will strengthen your Jupiter. So that is all for now. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.